Wait, hello! Who's that at the bottom of the page? Theory is confirmed. Yo, Hegassen here, aka Tom Fidzy, back after the break with chapter 1008. It is called Leader of the ATAMAYAMA Thieves Brigage, Ashura Doji. Okay, that's surprising. Does that mean we're going back into the room with the fake Oden, clearly Onimaru the fox? Ashura, that feels like a chapter name that was like from the beginning of Wano. Okay, Ashura Doji gonna make some moves. Are we not gonna get death flags, are we? Anyway, let's get into this reaction and review. We've got Robin on the front cover. A horse wants to fly. Gets tethered to a Pegasus with the help of Robin. And we can see a horse and she's given it the wings. That would be a cool ability actually to see in the show. Maybe she can give Brook wings and Brook can fly around while they're fighting Black Maria. Okay, cool. I like a little straw hat. Right, let's get into the chapter. And we are going back to Oden, the fake Oden. Now, I thought that... it's definitely a fake Oden, right? Now, I thought that... we were going to cut away from this. I thought we were maybe going to go back up to the roof. I thought Oda was going to make us wait, but no. So, page 1. Treasure repository behind the tower. Wahaha, I don't blame you for being surprised, says Onimaru Oden. I've come to the future with the help of Toki's power. It's a long story. There will be time for it later. And there's all of the 9 red scabbards crying. Kinemon's crying. You're alive, Lord Oden, says Nekomamushi. Oden Lord, says Okiku. No one's questioning it. No one is they saw him boil. He's not even got any scars. There's no time to celebrate our reunion. My apologies for being late. To battle my friends onward to Kaido, whom he failed to vanquish that terrible day. Wait. Hang on, is Ashura Doji going to be the one to call him out? You know, he's been living in Wano all this time. You know, he's been losing a lot of faith. Okay. Of course, says Inarashi. We will join you, says Karamatsu. Lord Oden, says Izu. Denjiro's just crying. And yeah, here we go. Ashura Doji. Not so fast. He's got to be a fake. Kinemon. What do you mean, Ashura? He's right there. Before our eyes. Raizo. Remember what Lady Toki said, Kinemon. So Raizo's thinking clearly. So, could it be Kanjuro? Could it be Kanjuro? Could it be a Kanjuro fake? And there we see Kinemon. He's got a chipped tooth. That'll be fixed. Mankind cannot return to the past. And then, so we see Lady Toki saying that with all the flames burning. And then we got Oden there. Lady Toki had the power to go into the future, but Lord Oden died that day. If he were to time travel to the future, that truth would never change. Oh, and as Kinemon's turned around, a sword is being drawn. But I know how you feel. And Ashura Doji is punching Kinemon out of the way. You have to open your eyes, Kinemon. Oh, yeah, it's a fake. Okay, maybe it's not Onimaru then. Is the Kanjuro theory correct? We see a notch come out of Oden from Ashura Doji's sword. See? That? No blood. Ashura! And Ashura's been stabbed. The death flags are strong. Ashura, says Kinemon. Huff, huff there. That makes it clear. And Ashura Doji's crying. We all feel the same way. We all wanted it to be him. Ashura making a big sacrifice. I thought the deaths were going to happen on the roof. What's going on? And Karamatsu. What a devious trick. But who? Ashura, says Kinemon. It ain't him. And they're all now drawing their swords on this mystery Oden. But he's present. His mannerisms, they belong to no one but Lord Oden. Izzo, if anyone could recreate them accurately, it would be one of us. So it's you, Kanjuro! Ha 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 ha! Don't be stupid. I am Oden. Okay, yeah. Clearly Kanjuro, but he was like dead in a ditch, beaten by Okiku, right? 1-on-1. So what's going on here? The mystery is continuing. I'm gonna have to change my thumbnail. My thumbnail from the last chapter is Yukimaru with Oden. I was so convinced. Who's the person in the room then? Why did they heal all these people if they're gonna just stab them and kill them? Or was that something else? Was Hiyori there, healed them, and then Kanjuro turned up and captured Hiyori? Who was the person? What is going on? Right, anyway. Kanjuro! Kakaya, don't be stupid. I'm Oden. Everyone calling themselves Oden. Ashura, I'm so sorry. This is my fault, says Okiku. I failed to finish off Kanjuro for good. I don't blame ya for going soft. He was our friend, confirming that she didn't actually kill Kanjuro. You know, it was left a little bit like a mystery. Was he dead? Was he not? Ashura Doji said, is he going to bleed out? I doubt it, but let's see. This battle just gets harder by the minute. Is this only a painting? Where is your real body? Controlling it remotely saps so much strength. Remotely, and I am deeply wounded. I expect I will die in this battle. But I will die having pierced the very heart of the Kozuki clan as Kurozumi Kanjuro. There we go. It is confirmed that it's Kanjuro. Well done to everyone that was like, could it be a Kanjuro painting? I thought because they got healed that it had to therefore be Onimaru. And I thought that would be a great way to get Onimaru back into the story. But it was Kanjuro all along. That does put big questions on who was the woman that was in there healing them. And where are they now? So Kanjuro's going like Luke Skywalker here. You know, kind of remotely sitting somewhere, meditating on a rock. Has a remote like projection. Controlling them remotely saps so much strength. I guess, yeah, every time we've seen them, they've been in the area. Although he had his Kanjuro clone on the boat when they were going over to Onigashima. So if he was to create a big army of paintings, does that mean that, you know, he will have to like sit there and focus while he controls them all? Interesting. I am deeply wounded. I expect I will die in this battle. Right, I already read that. Oh, there we actually see Kanjuro. So he's running around somewhere nearby. Lord Momonosuke's in danger, says Denjiro. That's right, I remember hearing a voice somewhere saying that Lord Momonosuke was with a Kunoichi. Oh, and we still got the little mouse with the eye of truth from Ocarina of Time painted on it. That must be Shinobu. Then we can send a message to warn her. Oh, and Oden's lighting some dynamite on him. And then everyone's looking shocked. You wouldn't be tasteless enough to hunt down a dying man, would you? Oden, fake Oden's going into sword style. Stay here and fight with me. Come on, surely they can... No. Surely they can easily take him. The rest of you get out of here. Go and stop Kanjuro. Thank you, Ashura, says Denjiro with absolute conviction. Denjiro grabs fake Oden, Kanjuro Oden, jumps out the window. Get off me, you great big never defile Kozuki Oden again, says Ashura Doji. And boom! Big dynamite explosion. Has one of the samurai actually just fallen? All of the others are getting knocked backwards. Ashura Doji, like, he was one of the ones that I'm like, if someone's going to die, it's going to be Ashura Doji. Dynamite, they just fought Kaido, you know. Dynamite close range, though. Pedro, we haven't seen him come back from that. Perospero came back from a Dynamite blast up close. Kanjuro was already... Ashura Doji was already wounded. To take out a Kanjuro painting, all of them couldn't take on a Kanjuro painting when Okiku went one-on-one. I guess they are all wounded. Rip Ashura Doji. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we see on the next page, page 10 and 11, we see the explosion that they're all getting knocked back. I love the shading that Oda has done on this, especially on Kinemon there. It looks amazing. There you go, they're all knocked back. Kinemon's looking over. We see a very charred looking body and a sword. Okiku's face. Wow, look at the emotion on Okiku's face. Raizo. Kanjuro! Says Kinemon. And there we see Kanjuro. Ka-ka-ka-ka! Become Kozuki. Bring down Kozuki, then die. It is the greatest final act my entire life. A beautiful and poignant drama. And then there we see, oh, okay. So Kanjuro's standing in front of them. Kinemon and Raizo are looking shocked, but they're not looking shocked at Kanjuro because behind is Jack. Wheeze. That took longer than I anticipated. In Mammoth form, Jack! And we got Nekomamushi there. Come on, Nekomamushi in Inarashi versus Jack. So it looks like Sanji maybe didn't go this way. Maybe he has gone the way of Yamato. So maybe not going to get Sanji versus Jack. Let's see what the next page has in store. Nekomamushi. I had to break through all these files, all these flies, desperate to protect their kings. Oh no, and we got some of the other minks. Look at that big tiger one. Down. Cat. Raizo. Hurry on ahead. Wait. You intend to stop me on your own, King of the Day? We're both injured. Sounds fair to me, doesn't it? It's not going to be Nekomamushi and Inarashi. Nekomamushi has just left with the others. No questions, you know. They are just following, they are just putting faith in each other and just following through, you know. They put their faith, they didn't stop Ashura Doji. They're not stopping Inarashi. But you can see by how Kawamatsu's head, you know, he's down. The hat is like over his eyes a little bit. You can see on Okiku's face that they're not happy about this. But wow. Just Inarashi versus Jack. Are we now really going to get into the part where the 9 red scabbards are slowly going to go one by one? Slowly going to fall. And not to Kaido. Okay. I don't choose this fight. No, I don't choose this fight to settle the scores of the past. I choose it to keep you occupied so that you cannot create any new victims, Jack. Go, protect Lord Momonosuke, my friends. You aren't going to see any moons down here, says Jack. Nor is there any poisonous gas. So we'll both have to make do. What a good line from Inarashi there, you know, because they were fighting to a standstill, weren't they, until the poisonous gas came out. Okay, this is exciting. There's a fire in the castle. We have to douse it before it gets out of control. Wait, hello. Who's that at the bottom of the page? At the bottom of page 13, unlucky for some, but not unlucky for Orochi. Kufufu, you fools. Your mistake was betraying me, Kaido. So he's turned. Theory, another theory confirmed. I'll burn it all down. You'll all die up here in the sky where there's nowhere to run. Goo! Goo! Ha ha ha! Oh, Orochi! Bah! And just been shot by Fukurai. Another theory confirmed. That was the last mistake you'll ever make. I'll slaughter every last one of you. Okay, some theories have been confirmed. Orochi was not dead. I think that was pretty obvious. You know, 8-headed dragon now has 7 heads. I was wondering, you know, because 8-headed dragon now has 7 heads, and that there were 9 red scabbards, and I was thinking, oh, maybe, oh, it could still work actually, because I was like, was it going to be Inuyasha and Nekomamushi fighting Jack, and then that will leave enough scabbards to then fight Orochi, but with Ashura Doji down and Inuyasha staying to fight Jack, it still puts the numbers that they could end up fighting Orochi. I mean, you've got Fukurai there, but maybe somebody else can turn up and take care of that. But yeah, so it's confirmed. Orochi is alive. That was pretty obvious. Fukurai knew that and went to Orochi. I think that was pretty obvious as well. Another theory confirmed too. And that Orochi would obviously be angry at Kaido and kind of become a little bit of a, I don't want to say ally, anti-hero, I guess, or like, you know, kind of third wheel to the whole raid, his own like kind of lone agent, I guess, with Fukurai. Okay, let's go, next page. What kind of way? So just the tease of Orochi. 14 and 15. Team Momonosuke. Okay, so we are with Team Momonosuke. Now will you relax and stay here, Momonosuke? I'm sorry, they're in like some kind of, I don't know, like vineyard area. I'm much better at controlling it than I used to be. Oh, that's interesting. So Momonosuke has gone back to dragon form, and confirmation that he's getting better at controlling it as well. So hopefully potential power-ups we will get to see in the future for Momonosuke. Maybe, you know, a more refined form. I think that's something that a lot of people are speculating in Wano. When I first met Luffy's crew, I turned into a dragon whenever I was surprised or sad. And Yamato, it really startled me. I wonder if your power works like my father's. If only I could turn into a monster like him, I would be so much more help to everyone, says Lord Momonosuke. I think that kind of confirms it. If only I could turn into a monster like him, but not like a monster, an ally, a guardian, a protector of Wano. Speaking of which, I hope Luffy's alright, says Yamato. I want a chance to beat Kaido too. Being Oden and all. So there you go. That's what I meant earlier on when everyone's calling themselves Oden. Look at Shinobi's face in the background. It's like, man, like, you're not Oden. You're not Oden. Luffy is greatly weakened, but somehow he's still fine. That's a relief. Wait, hang on. Is this the voice? This is Momonosuke using the voice. Shinobu, that's a relief. And then Shinobu says, wait, how do you know that, Lord Momonosuke? And it cuts away. It's observation hacky or it's the voice, right? Momonosuke. Okay. Rooftop Onigashima. Oh. But is this going to be a massive revelation chapter? Is this going to be one of those chapters where we just get so much information that we weren't expecting? I kept away from spoilers, and I was not seeing massive amounts of hype. I heard it was good, but are we going to get hybrid form in this chapter? Okay, on the roof, Onigashima, we got Luffy. He's upside down, and there's like, I don't know, like hacky marks or something coming towards him, but like he's flying backwards. Hard to say what's going on with Luffy. Oh, it looks like he's got flung back actually. He's like smashing into a wall. Oh, we see Kid. He's in a different form. He's got like 2 like kind of robot fist hands. We got Zoro, kind of like, he's kind of doing like a little bit of a lean, like, hey, I'm Zoro. I got 3 swords. How are we supposed to beat them? Huff, huff. It doesn't feel like our attacks are doing anything. We got Killer and we got Law in the background. So they're a little bit wounded. Oh, it was that Luffy losing his gear because we see him like, he's got all the smoke coming out of his mouth. They are working. There's no way all of these hits could have no effect. They're just as human as we are, says Luffy, and he goes straight back into the fight once again. Luffy, so they are just pounding on the Yonkos and no damage is being dealt. Let's see what the Yonkos actually look like though. Here we go. Wow, 16 and 17. What? Okay, let's get to that in a second. Let's get that into a second. So Luffy ran in and boom, instantly he's been fired back again. Think before you leap, says Zoro. Killer. I'm amazed he can call them the same species as us. You can see like silhouettes in the flame. Luffy pops out again. He's fine. What? So you're up here just expecting us to lose? Zoro, no, we're thinking of how to win. You know, they're actually being intelligent, trying to... I guess they're sitting back, they're observing, they're watching, trying to find weakness. We should peel them apart, says Law. Huff, huff. I agree, says Zoro. With the two of them standing side by side. It just looks like we're in hell, says Kid. So Kid, actually, you know, being part of the team here. We're not seeing any voices, like we're not seeing him like dismiss Law here. You know, he is actually being like, okay, yeah, it's time for us all to work together. And there we see... and there we see Hybrid Point Kaido, and he doesn't look much different. He's just Kaido with a few extra horns and a few extra scales on his arm. He's got a tail and he's got kind of dragon legs, but he's basically got a human face. Well, a Kaido. He's basically got a Kaido face with he's got some teeth. Is that it? Well, he hasn't got the snout. You know, all of the other ones, they got like they look like they're wearing like a little hat. I mean, it looks kind of cool with the way that the scales are. You know, he's got those like fish scales on him. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like Lucci, but it wouldn't say Scream Dragon. I think it's the fact that he's got a very human-y face still and not like the long snout. You know how different his dragon form snout is? It's not quite it's like this sits between hybrid form and normal human form. It's like a kind of a half between them. It's like a hybrid of the hybrid form. Like, and then we got Big Mum just looking like Big Mum. Tongue's out, Napoleon's out, Zeus is there, Prometheus is there. There's fire, there's electricity, there's a big sword with a big cheesy grin on it. Her hair is on fire as well. That looks really cool. And then we got Luffy there. That suits me fine. I've been to hell and back a few times already. It's home territory. And then Kaido's grinning. That's it, Straw Hat. The light never leaves your eyes, does it? Oh, we're getting like a Luffy Katakuri moment between Luffy and Kaido. There's a little bit of respect there, you know? Kaido's got a big grin on him. Luffy's got a big grin on it. They're liking the fact that they're in this fight. Are we seriously getting Luffy versus Katakuri 2 here with Kaido? Is Kaido just happy? I've always kind of theorized, you know, that Kaido's probably just happy to find a worthy challenger. You know, he jumped off the cloud to try and kill himself and it did nothing, you know? And now he's actually getting hurt and taking attacks, you know? I guess it's kind of exciting a little bit for him, right? That's it, Straw Hat. The light never leaves your eyes, does it? I'd love to get into a flashback of what Kaido was like when he was on the Rocks crew, you know? See that personality before he just became a really angry, drunk loner. Maybe we're seeing a little bit of original Kaido here. You know, the one who's maybe a little bit of a good sport, a little bit jolly. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. The bromance between Luffy and Kaido is forming for the fight for the Pirate King. You know, last time Kaido actually said that he's enjoying it. I'm liking it. I'm not really liking the hybrid form though. I think he looks a bit dumb. Maybe it'll grow on me. Maybe in the anime. I mean, he's got like a dragon tail. I don't know. I was expecting a bit more. Like, he's just because the dragon is like so long and like serpentine with the big dragon face, and here he's just like, he looks like Rob Lucci with horns, and a dragon tail. So next chapter hits April 4th, so we're not on a break, and that's it. That is the end of the chapter. Yeah, just checking. Some big revelations in this one. Okay, review time of chapter 1008, leader of the ATAMAYAMA Thieves Brigade, Ashura Doji. Am I sad about the death of Ashura Doji? No, because is he dead? I mean, we see a body, but are we gonna just see Ashura Doji chilling at the end of the arc covered in bandages? Probably, you know, until somebody says that he's dead, I'm not gonna believe it. Just like I didn't believe that that was real Oden in the last chapter, I'm not going to believe that Ashura Doji is actually dead until we see him buried in the ground, until we see his grave. And even then, I'm still maybe not going to believe with Oda's track record. Was it a good? It was a good-ish sacrifice, but it just kind of came out of nowhere. Like, it literally just came out of nowhere. The chapter name was a surprise, and then Ashura Doji gets blown up by a dynamite wielding Kanjuro copy of Oden, and that's it. That's the end of Ashura Doji. Like, I know that some of these scabbards are most likely going to be like used as sacrifices to add weight to the story, but I thought that would be versus Kaido, and the only thing we got versus Kaido was Okiku's arm. Rip Okiku's arm, but I thought maybe Kawamatsu and Ashura Doji, they seemed like the two ones that were most likely going to die. Maybe Izzo as well. But I thought it would be to Kaido, and instead it's just to an art doll. And it wasn't Onimaru, and it didn't bring Yukimaru into the story, and it throws up some weird questions as to who was it that was healing them. You know, now we still got to speculate on who was healing them. Could it still have been Toki? Because they did refer to, I think I saw who it was, but I can't be sure. When they were saying that, were they talking about Oden who appeared in the doorway, or were they talking about Hiyori, Toki, somebody else? I'm guessing that they were probably talking about the woman that was in there, so I'm going to assume Hiyori, but not actually the fact that Oden appeared. You know, I think that was maybe made to look a little bit of a red herring there. So, because they never actually, I don't think they actually said their name as to who they thought they saw when they were healing, and then they did seem genuine surprised when they did see Oden. You know, they never mentioned, hey, thanks for healing us. A little bit sad that they jumped straight into it, being like, it's Oden! I guess, you know, emotions and everything getting to them straight away. They were just happy to see their old friend. You know, it could have been a little bit believable that it was, that it could have been Oden, you know. Even a lot of people were speculating that maybe it was Toki that put Oden into the future. I did like this. What I did really like in these scenes was how, you know, the samurai once again showing their samurai ways of like, people are gonna die, and we just gotta put our emotions on hold, and we just gotta go for it. You know, Ashura Doji, when he runs at the Oden copy and grabs it, they will know in that moment that he's gonna die, and they're just like, "Thank you, Kanjuro. Thank you, Ashura." They knew what was gonna happen, and you know they kept on going. When Inuarashi was like, "I'm gonna stay behind and face Jack on my own," which is really epic, and I hope we actually get to see it this time. A little bit upset about Nekomamushi not being there. I would have liked both of them to have a go, but if Inuarashi can hold Jack off on his own, that is pretty epic. It does put into question who is Nekomamushi now going to face. Is it going to be Orochi that we find out is alive? Because that would be really hype, and it does kind of line up with, you know, 7 heads and then 7 left, right? So we got Izzo, Okiku, Raizo, Kinemon, Nekomamushi, Kawamatsu, Denjiro. Yeah. Yeah, that lines up with the number of heads that Orochi should have, so that theory could still potentially be the 7 red scabbards versus the 7 heads of Orochi, potentially. But yeah, I liked it, the fact that they, Inorashi was like, I'm going to stay behind, and they all just went off. We do see that they're still hunting down Kanjuro, but he said that holding off the remote clones is probably going to kill him. I'm guessing he's on a ticking clock himself, essentially bleeding out. I don't think when they actually get to him, he's going to be that big a threat. We saw that he'd already been defeated by Okiku once before. So it was a little bit shocking that Ashura Doji actually did die to that blast, that they all couldn't have dealt with it. I guess the dynamite kind of flipped the situation there, where they just had to get that out of the room. But I don't know. Like, yeah, it's sad that Ashura Doji is potentially dead, but is he dead? I don't know, Oda, because you've pulled this so many times where people look like they've been dead and then they're not. It's hard to feel any genuine sadness. Maybe at the end of the arc, if we do see an Ashura Doji grave, then I'll start shedding my tears for Ashura Doji. But right now I'm like, okay, it was a bit of an unexpected death. I would have preferred it at the hands of Kaido, but it's fine. It's fine. He still sacrificed himself for the great good of the samurai, and we got some epic scenes out of it. And then we got Jack versus Inorashi. Then we get Orochi is back. No surprise that Orochi is back. So it wasn't really that big a reveal. It didn't even take up a whole page of boom. It's Orochi. Yeah, he's still alive. He was just at the bottom of the page because I think everybody knew that he was still alive. And that Fukurakuju was with him. But that's fine. At least we can now see him back in the story and see what kind of role he's going to play in the future. Obviously, he's creating a fire, so he's going to create a new challenge to the Alliance now that most of the Alliance is turning the enemy into the Alliance. So they're not going to have much to contend with, but they will have fire. And it's good that Orochi is setting Kaido's castle on fire, much like how Kaido set the Kozuki castle on fire. So interesting. And it'd be definitely interesting to see what happens to Orochi when they get to the Flower Capital. And it's his castle. It's his home that's under threat next. We got the stuff with Yamato and Momonosuke. Good stuff with Momonosuke hinting that about new dragon forms and a more powerful form coming up, that you can control it better, that he wants to be a little bit more of a monster. I could see a bigger dragon form coming, and then him talking about the voice of all things, that he can hear that Luffy is okay. I wonder if Luffy can sense that Momonosuke is okay. That will be interesting. Maybe while he's fighting on the roof, he can sense that someone is in trouble downstairs. And then we see the Alliance, the Supernova Alliance, up on the roof, working together, trying to find a way into the Yonko. They're still standing. It looks like they're just going in for attacks, and the Yonko are just kind of standing there and like bouncing them off. But this is cool, and I love the ending with Luffy and Kaido kind of smiling at one another and getting that, giving me big Katakuri vibes of Luffy versus Katakuri vibes, where the fight has kind of stopped becoming so much of a actual kind of I'm fighting because I hate you. There's now some kind of little bit of kind of respect and enjoyment in the fight, Luffy's smiling, Kaido's smiling, so we're gonna get into a good fight coming up. Kaido's hybrid form it's disappointing, to be honest. Ordinary Kaido's cool. Dragon form is absolutely amazing. We get a silhouette. We're like, what's it gonna look like? It's Kaido with toes. And that's basically it. So yeah, a little bit disappointed by that, but oh well. I mean, I just would have preferred a little bit more of a dragon head on it. I think that would have been a little bit cooler than what we got. He's got like the big moustache as well, and the big cheeky grin. It just, I don't know, it makes him look a little bit like a completely different character. It looks like at the end he should be like straw hat, the light never leaves your eyes, does it? I am Kaido. I don't know, but it's fine, but it's not it's not the best of the hybrid forms. It's no Lucci's, to be honest. I think that one is still kind of the best hybrid form so far. It's not quite as weird as Kaku's, but it's not the best. I don't think it was worth all of the hype. Overall, though, pretty good chapter, pretty solid. Lots of great revelations. Mixed in with mild bits of disappointment. So I think overall I'm not as hyped up as I have been with the past chapters. There is some little bit of disappointment in there. So I think it's because it wasn't Onimaru and the hybrid form wasn't all that. But good stuff with Momonosuke. So I think for me, really, it's just a purple tier chapter for me. Hey, so thanks for watching. What did you think? Let me know about it in the comments below. And if you enjoyed my video, maybe give it a like. And if you really liked it, why not subscribe? You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram and Twitch. Oh, and here's a related video you might enjoy and something more fresh. I've been Hegassen, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye!